It's clear. According to Google, according to surveys, and especially according to more than 50,000 one-star reviews, Ryanair is the worst-rated airline in Europe. Congratulations! Customers, and probably many of you as well, have complained about stupid hidden fees. Did you forget to check in online? Pay up? Do you have bigger luggage? Well, pay up. Do you want to sit next to your girlfriend, have more space, or be the first aboard the plane? Or do you have an adorable baby with you?
Well, pay up, I'm telling you.
Now pay up.
People also complain about seat space, the size of a shoebox, dirty planes, flight delays, long lines, and dangerous landings. Martin from Bratislava left this review.
They will make you pay 75 euros for a bag because it is bigger by wheels.
Customers, as well as the media and experts, didn't know whether to laugh or cry when Ryanair's CEO Michael O'Leary announced that he wanted you to pay to use the toilets.
Did you really want to charge to use toilets on Ryanair planes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Or that people would have to stand during the flight.
Did you want to make some passengers stand on planes to fit more people in, a la the tube?
Yes.
What bothers everyone the most is the terrible customer service. Because a few complaints are that the Ryanair website often doesn't work. You can't get through to the call center, and you wait an hour before someone finally responds on online chat. But it's a whole different level when they're also rude about it and openly humiliate people who complain on social media. When Marta wrote,
Seriously, Ryanair? I paid for the window seat.
they just circled it in the photo and replied,
Here it is. Are you blind?
And Ryanair, what are your rules for tall people sitting on planes where the legs don't fit in normal seats?
Bend your knees.
So many reasons to hate Ryanair.
But a cheap flight ain't one.
Wow, look at the seat I got on Ryanair. I feel like I won the Ryanair jackpot.
Now buy some trousers.
I understand the random allocation of seats, but when I have bought 2 tickets for me and my girlfriend, why would you separate us?
You don't understand random seat allocation.
but the funniest was the guy who was making fun of Ryanair.
Ryanair is trying to make me pay for seats, with the threat that my family and I might have to sit separately. Well, the joke's on them, because I'd pay extra to not sit with them.
So the company changed his seat reservations so that they all sat together.
Check. And incidentally, mate.
Apparently, they're really trying hard, because for 6 years in a row, they were rated the worst airline in Europe.
But now Wizz Air has overtaken us. You've got to try harder, guys.
They even make fun of customers, saying,
This is what passengers look like when they are explaining how they didn't understand the bag policy, and this is how they try to hide it. Or they just put everything on and wear it all at once.
and personally, what made me laugh the most was this photo.
The expectations of a passenger who paid £5 for a ticket?
I could go on for a really long time, but honestly, any reasonable person understands that they're basically laughing in people's faces. Their entire communication system is basically built on that.
All right.
And according to every single marketing rule about customer experience, a company like this really shouldn't even exist anymore. They should just be used as an example in history class to show exactly how, ladies and gentlemen, things should not be done. But if that's really the case, if Ryanair really breaks every single rule, then explain just one thing to me. Why do you still fly with them? Why is Ryanair, by a huge margin, the largest airline in Europe in terms of the number of passengers carried, and the third largest in the world? Why did they transport 20.5 million passengers just in August, and 194 million passengers over the last 12 months? Why did they operate more than 1 million flights a year, with an average seat occupancy of 95%? Well, I'll tell you, even though I'm sure you already have a pretty good idea, it's the price. Really low price. How is that possible? Well, it's because Ryanair is really obsessed with offering the lowest possible prices.
I am Jose Mourinho.
They're constantly looking everywhere for ways to save money. A year after the Twin Towers fell, when the entire travel industry was in a huge crisis, they bought 150 planes, and thanks to that, they got them at massive discounts. The same thing happened again 20 years later in 2021, right in the middle of the global lockdowns. While competing airlines had to cut staff and shut down, they announced the purchase of 210 Boeings and the opening of 10 new destinations. And not only that, because they have the same type of planes, they don't need a lot of spare parts for many different models. And when they do need them, they can buy them at a bulk discount. Who cares if you're practically sitting on top of each other, if you don't get free food, or if you have to walk across the whole airport tarmac to get to the plane?
Reduce your expectations to zero.
Who cares that you're waiting on the runway and the plane isn't even really there yet? You'll put up with all of that if you get a lower price. They even make fun of those complaining travelers.
Poor Phil had to stand in a stairwell for 12 minutes. Hopefully he can rest up on his vacation in Malaga before the return journey.
On their website, they say they have 25 minutes to unload passengers and board new ones, and that's why you have to stand there. By the way, that's also the reason why you won't find paper barf bags in the seats, because after every landing, they would have to check if they were used, if there's any trash in them, and replace them with new ones. And all of that would just unnecessarily make everything take longer. Less time at the airport means lower airport fees, more flights, and cheaper tickets. But it doesn't end there. When they have just one model of airplane, training for technicians, pilots, and the rest of the crew takes much less time and money. The crew on board are often juniors who don't have much work experience, so they're not really in a position to negotiate for higher pay or better working conditions. Another thing is that Ryanair only flies within Europe on short-haul routes. The average flight time is about 2 hours and 6 minutes, and thanks to that, they can use the plane multiple times a day, transport more people, and spread their fixed costs better compared to their competitors.
High five!
The airports they fly to, that's actually a marketing trick too, because the closer you are to the city center, the more expensive the airport fees are, and as a result, the price goes up as well. But if you choose a tiny airport that's barely surviving and has to fight hard for every single airline, then companies like Ryanair have a huge negotiating advantage. The only downside for the customer is the location of these kinds of airports. For example, when you fly to Frankfurt, you actually don't land in Frankfurt, but in a place where it still takes you 2 hours by train to get to the city center.
Close enough.
And even those toilets and standing areas on the plane are connected to lower prices. They didn't want to make millions off you by making you pay €2 just to use the bathroom, but they knew you would want to save money.
You thought you could rip me off, didn't you? But I can hold it.
So you end up not going to the bathroom at all. If fewer people went to the bathroom, then instead of 3 bathrooms on the plane, they would only need 1. That way, they could fit 6 more seats in there and be able to lower the ticket price for everyone by another 5%.
Shut up and take my money!
But not because I want the money. We'll give the money away to charity. I want to get rid of we have 3 toilets. If I can get rid of the 2 toilets at the back of the planes, I can add 6 extra seats. With 6 extra seats, I can lower everybody's airfare by another 5% all year round.
And the same goes for the seats. They really wanted to remove the last 10 rows of seats and replace them with standing room. People laughed at O'Leary for this, but he'd gladly bet his paycheck with you.
The seats would be €25. The standing cabin would be €1. I guarantee you we will fill the standing cabin first.
In the end, this idea wasn't carried out, but the challenge was taken up by the Czech company RegioJet. Look, they actually already have these awesome standing areas in their trains. Ryanair is simply the perfect example of what it means to be downright obsessed with offering lower prices. Everyone hates them for this approach. But in the end, it actually suits everyone just fine. It suits Ryanair because thanks to low prices, extra fees, and turning it into a massive machine, they have an annual profit of almost $2 billion. It suits Michael O'Leary too, because even though he gets pies thrown in his face,
Welcome in Belgium! Stop the pollution of the place!
I love cream cakes. They're my favorite. Okay, so
just his bonus for last year exceeded $100 million. This suits travelers across Europe, because if they're already supposed to be angry and frustrated by terrible service, well, at least they'll be pissed off in Spain on the beach. And it suits you too, because you get to watch a perfect video like this. Have you finally subscribed yet? I know only one other big, prestigious brand that's just as obsessed with cutting prices. It's Amazon. Back when they started hiring their first employees in 1995, they didn't even have desks to work at. So Jeff Bezos, being the true startup CEO, a Swiss Army knife who does absolutely everything, went to the local hardware store to buy some. But once he got there, he realized that doors were being sold much cheaper than desks. So that's exactly why he didn't buy any desks at all. He bought doors and then attached some legs to them. Since then, desks like these have become a symbol of the company. They served as a reminder to all employees that they should only spend money where the customer would feel it, where it would translate into lower prices for products.
You can afford a better desk than that. It's a symbol of spending money on things that matter to customers and not spending money on things that don't.
To this day, 31 years later, Jeff Bezos still works at one of those first desks, even though he's one of the richest people on the planet. To this day, those desks are still made for thousands of employees all over the world. Amazon also gives out a special Door Desk Award, which is an award for the best ideas that can help the company lower end prices for customers even more. And to this day, they keep repeating it in their campaigns. Spend less, smile more. So spend less and smile more, bro. From this comes my biggest recommendation in this video. If your business is competing with something like Amazon or Ryanair, or if there are 1,000 other bigger and longer established companies in the market, then under no circumstances should you try to beat them by offering a lower price. You have only a tiny chance of winning that kind of war. Or to put it better, don't do it. You'll bleed out. Find a better, more original strategy that you can be obsessed with, and that will still be attractive enough for your customers. See for yourself with the example of Chupa Chups and find out why you almost always find them at the checkout counters in these interesting stands.